notice, and this is the typical copyright. We continue with mathematics syllabus or CSEC 2018 to 2027. Schedule of videos. Section 1, number theory and computation. All 33 videos have been published on YouTube as of 14th of October 2024. I am now working on these 12 videos. On Section 2, consumer arithmetic. And I hope by the 31st of October 2024, I will have those 12 videos up. Then sets by November 2024, end of November. By end of December 2024, measurement. January 2025, statistics. February 2025, algebra. March 2025, relations, functions, and graphs. April 2025, geometry and trigonometry. And by May, mid-May, vectors and matrices, and that will take care of the whole syllabus. As I have pointed out so many times, Section 1, I have divided into 33 videos, and all of those videos have been published on YouTube in their entirety. This section, that is Section 1, forms the foundation on which the rest of the syllabus is based. So please make sure you view all 33 videos in Section 1 and make sure you know them well before you continue to the rest of the syllabus. A reminder that you need to know the times tables from 2 to 12. So we're on Section 2. It has 12 videos. We are currently here. Objective 5, video 5. Keep in mind that not all of these videos will be available on YouTube in their entirety. For example, this video here, only one part will be available on YouTube. For the other part, you will be redirected in the description. So we finished those 3, and then 4, and now we are here, objective 5. After that, we still have to go up to objective 10, and objective 10 I have divided into 3 videos. So those 9 plus 3 would give us 12 videos for this section. So as I said, we are now here. Please note there are no explanatory notes here by CSET. So solve problems involving payments by installments, as in the case of hire purchase and mortgages. So we will begin first with hire purchase, and that will be available free on YouTube. For the other part on mortgages, you will be redirected to another site where a reasonable fee is charged. What do we mean by hire purchase? Very often, people want or they need to buy a stove, a fridge, a car, a bus, a boat, or even a house, and they don't have all the money to pay up front. So what they need to do is to make an arrangement with the store or the bank to pay a small part up front and then make several monthly payments for some years, maybe 1.5 years to 30 years in the case of houses, until they pay off for it, at which time it becomes their sole property. So these monthly payments, after the initial down payment, sometimes an initial down payment is not required, are called installments. Now, if you make such an agreement with a store, say Coach, the system is called hire purchase. Example, you want to buy a fridge at Coach with a sticker price of $4,500. You don't have all the money up front, so you make a down payment and make an arrangement to pay off for it in 3 years. Now, if you go to a bank for a much larger loan, it is then called a mortgage. For example, $250,000 to be paid over a 25 years span. So the hire purchase and the mortgage, they're basically the same thing, except hire purchase are like for smaller amounts at stores and so on, whereas mortgages deal with banks. Now, in the case of hire purchase, the store is extending to you a loan or a credit that you will have to pay back with interest. In the case of mortgages, it is more obvious that the bank extends to you a loan. A typical example, you need to buy a fridge priced at $4,500 from a store. The down payment is $1,000 and the monthly installment is $200 for 24 months. So the loan that the store extended to you is $4,500 minus the $1,000 that you pay down. And so $3,500 credit or loan the store extends to you. If you pay by installment, you will pay $200 a month for 24 months. That would give you $4,800. And if you add the $4,800 to the $1,000 that you already paid, then in effect, by the time you pay off for it, it would have cost you $5,800. Now, that was the same item that was listed as $4,500. But because you didn't have all the money to pay, the store extended to you credit or loan, and then you take some time to pay it back. And so you ended up paying $5,800. This is the loan or the credit that the store extended to you. You pay $200 a month for 24 months, and this is what you pay in terms of the loan. So for $3,500, you have to pay $4,800. So the total you pay for the fridge is $4,800. Now the interest you paid would be the $4,800 that you pay by installment minus the $3,500 credit or loan that the store extended to you. So you paid $1,300 in. So the percentage interest would be the interest over the loan multiplied by 100, and the interest would be $1,300, that's this up here, over 3,500, that's this credit here or loan, multiplied by 100, and so you get 37% over the 2 years. So on average, you divide the 37% by 2, and you get 18.5% per year. Now, the stores, say Coach, for example, they use a table like this, and so they put in the list price, they put in the down payment, and from that, this credit here or loan will be calculated. They will also put in the number of years, and then this amount will be calculated, or put in the amount to pay per month, and the number of years will be calculated. It doesn't really matter. So what we have here is your first payment. Remember, the store extended to you a credit of $3,500. You paid $200. From that $200, they will take out the interest for that month, which is this, and the rest would go towards paying your loan, and that would remain at the end of the first month, and so on. Second month, you now begin with this credit, which is this one over here. You pay $200, they take out $54.17 for interest. This amount goes to your loan repayment, and that there, and then that comes back down here, and so on. Eventually, you find by the time you reach 24 months, you would have paid off for the stove. But notice, that the interest here is the same every month. The amount you pay towards the principal is the same every month. And your loan decreased by the same every month. This system is called a straight line method, where you have a constant amount paid towards interest and a constant amount paid towards the loan. And the loan decreased by that constant amount every month. So at the end of the 24 months, you would have paid this amount of interest, and you would have paid them back the loan or the credit that they extended to you. Now, here we have a slightly different situation. What we were just looking at with the straight line method, you did pay the $1,300 in interest and the $3,500 credit that the store extended to you. Now over here, it's basically the same thing. You pay $1,300 in interest and you pay back the $3,500. However, if you look here, you would notice something slightly different. Notice this is $94.50, this is $91.65, and $88.73. So as time goes by, you're paying less and less for interest, but you are paying more and more towards your loan. Now, this is called the reducing balance method. So now you are paying interest based on the money you owe at the beginning of that month. So since you will be owing less money every subsequent month, you pay less interest. And of course, since you are paying the same $200, then you pay more towards your loan. It takes the same 24 months. You pay about the same interest. You pay back the same $3,500 credit that the store extended to you. But the amount from this $200 that goes towards interest decreases, and that goes towards paying the principal increases as time goes by. By the way, it takes you 13 payments to reach this straight line method, 54.17 and 145.83. 54.76 and 145.23. So 13 payments to reach that stage. Just be aware that there is a straight line method and there is a reducing balance. And also be aware, if you see a table like this, you should be able to understand what it means. But that was looking at it from the seller's perspective. Now, I think what CXC wants you to do is to look at it from the buyer's perspective. But just make sure that if you see a table like this, you can read it. So let's go on to the buyer's perspective. If you find this video useful and interesting, please like and share. Like and share. You may also consider subscribing to this channel. So let's look at example 1. The price on a new stove at a department store is $3,600. Its higher purchase terms are 1, $1,100 down payment, and $150 per month for 24 months. Now you are to calculate the total installment payments, the total overall payment, the amount of interest, and the average annual rate of interest. So total installment payments is fairly easy. You are paying $150 per month for 24 months. You just multiply the two things and you get $3,600. That's what the total payment that you have to make. Your total overall payment now, you will include the down payment plus the installment payments, and you pay $4,700 for the item that originally cost $3,600. Now, amount of interest paid will be the total installment minus the loan. So your total installment was $3,600 payment. The loan that the department store extended to you will be $3,600 minus the down payment, which is $1,100. So the credit that the store extended to you was $2,500. And so you pay an interest of $1,100. Percentage of interest would be the interest itself over the loan. So that will be this interest here and this loan here, multiply by 100%. And when you work that out, you get 44%. That's over a 2-year span. So you divide the 44% by 2 years, and you get 22% per year. Let's look at example 2. The list price on a new computer system at an electronic store is $4,700. Its higher purchase terms are $1,200 down payment and $200 per month for 24 months. Again, you need to find the total payment by installment, the total overall payment, the amount of interest paid, and the annual rate of interest, average. So total installment payments, very easy. If you are paying $200 a month for 24 months, just multiply the 200 by 24, and you get $4,800 payments by installment. Your overall payment will be your down payment, plus, of course, your installment payments. You add that up and you get $6,000. Amount of interest paid will be the total installments, which is $4,800, minus the loan or the credit extended to you, which will be, now remember the item was $4,700. You had a down payment of $1,200. So what remains is $3,500. That's the credit or the loan. And so you paid $1,300 in interest over 2 years. So your percentage interest would be the interest over the loan multiplied by 100%, which gives you 1,300 over 3,500 multiplied by 100, works out to be 37% over 2 years. Divide that by 2 and you get 18.5% interest annually. Example 3, the list price on a new washing machine at a department store is $3,700. Cash price has a discount of 15%. Its higher purchase terms are $1,200 down payment and $225 monthly for 18 months. Your question is, how much money will you save if you pay cash instead of higher purchase? So first of all, we will calculate the total higher purchase price. Then we will calculate the discount cash price. Then, of course, we will subtract the discount cash price from the total higher purchase price, and that will give us how much money we save. So the higher purchase price would be your down payment, which is $1,200, plus your installment payments, which is $255 for 18 months, and this is your total payments if you buy higher purchase. Now, if you buy it at cash discount, it would be $3,700 less 15%, which means that you are paying 85%, which would give you $3,145. And so the amount saved will be the higher purchase price minus the discount price, which works out to be $2,645. Example 4, the list price on a new stove at a department store is $3,600. Its higher purchase terms are 1, no down payment this time, and you pay $290 for 18 months. So let's calculate the total installment payments, the total overall payment, the amount of interest paid, and the average annual rate of interest. So total installment payments, this is fairly easy, $290 for 18 months, and that gives us $5,220. Total payment will be that $5,220 This is your total overall payment because there was no down payment. Amount of interest would be the total installment payments minus the loan. And so that would be 5,220 minus 3,600. And since you didn't make any down payment, that is the loan that they give you or the credit. So you ended up paying $1,620 in interest. Well, if you paid that over, well, that works out to be this, and that's 45% total interest, but that is over 1.5 years. So you divide the 45% by 1.5 years, and you get 30%. So let's compare example 1 with example 4. Remember, example 4 is the one we just did, where you had no down payment, you had a higher monthly payment and a smaller time frame. And example 2, you made a down payment of $1,100, monthly payment $150 over 24 months. Let's call this one example 1 plan A, and that one plan B. Now, if we calculate these things that we have here, you have total installment payments on plan B is this 5,200, and on plan A it's 3,600. Total overall payment here is 5,200, and over here it will be 4,700. Amount of interest 1,620. Over here it's 1,100. Average annual interest here, plan B, is 30%, and for plan A it's 22%. So now the question you may be thinking about is, which plan is better? For plan B, you're spending more money, you have less time, but you don't have any down payment. For plan A, less money, more time, down payment, smaller interest. Plan B, greater interest. Which one is better? Actually, neither is better. That what is better depends on how much money and time you have at your disposal. And don't forget that there may also be other options. For example, 5% cash discount, in which case you would pay $3,420. If you have the cash, you can afford to pay it, fine. You are going to save a lot of money in terms of interest and a lot of hassle in terms of making the monthly payments. So that will be dependent on how much money you have and how much time you have. Now, mortgages are more complex than hire purchase as they involve larger sums over a longer period of time. And CXC here did not give any explanatory notes on how in-depth we should go with this objective. This is what CXC says. Notice this is the objective. Some other things have explanatory notes like that one there and that one there, but this one has nothing here. And because it's in italics, that means that it was added new for this syllabus and it was not in the previous syllabus. So somebody threw that in there and didn't bother to say how much you need to know about it. So anyway, we look at examples like this. Mr. Jones wants to buy a house and plans to borrow $200,000 from a bank at an annual rate of interest of 8% with a payback time of 20 years. Now, sometimes you have to make a down payment too, but that down payment is not coming into play here. We're not dealing with the down payment. And some banks wouldn't require any down payment. So calculate his monthly payments, his total payments, his total interest. But remember I said that this video will not be totally available on YouTube. So the part on hire purchase, now this is as much of this video that I will publish on YouTube the part that deals with hire purchase. The other part that deals with mortgages, you will be redirected in the description where to go to access the rest of this video. So see directions in description below on how to access the rest of this video.